Welcome! Today we will be looking at a true jewel of the automotive world, a rarity almost unknown in much of the world. A sports car adapted to sedan models, which was born from the need to reinvent itself so as not to disappear. I present to you the last British thoroughbred of the 70s and 80s that surprised Europe. The Rover 3500 SD1, also known as Vitesse. The history of this magnificent car is turbulent and dates back to the 60s when the British automotive industry was in serious trouble economically, so several factories had to be merged under the name of British Leyland. One of them was Rover, which had large projects under development, but in the same way, it faced great challenges due to budget problems and differences of opinion between the managers and designers of the new large automotive conglomerate. All the plans they had before the merger soon switched to the SD1 project, for Specialist Division 1, as the former Leyland brands are included in the Special Division, being exclusively intended for Rover. The person in charge of design was David Back, who after several discussions and prolonged tests in a wind tunnel, decided to take inspiration from the Ferrari Daytona, giving this sedan the sporty, aerodynamic and modern style that was wanted to be achieved to boost the brand again. After almost a decade of development, the result was a full-size business-class car and a sleek 5-door hatchback body, which began production in 1976. The Rover SD1 was originally released in 8-cylinder engines with a capacity of 3.5 liters and 155 horsepower. The design in the power unit was based on the Buick Fireball engine, which was the first lightweight and small aluminum engine created in 1961 by General Motors. It was equipped with 2 carburetors, a 5-speed manual transmission. This equipment allowed the Rover SD1 to accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers in 8.6 seconds, and a top speed of 209 kilometers. A model with automatic transmission could also be purchased. During its 10 years of manufacture, the SD1 had several versions in its engines in both gasoline and diesel, with sizes of 4, 6, and 8 cylinders. A dream for lovers of good cars. For this he won the Car of the Year award in Europe in 1977. Even so, the best was yet to come because its greatest boom began in 1982 with its version called SD1 3500 Vitesse. The power unit had an electronic fuel injector. Such a change in design allowed it to obtain a power of 193 horsepower. The top speed of this version was 217 kilometers, and acceleration from 0 to 100 in 7 seconds. Which is why the model served as the basis for European competitions for the next 6 years, reaping considerable success in Group A touring car, achieving several important titles and victories. Among the most notable are the French Touring Car Championship of 1982. In 1985 the SD1 would repeat the victory, also adding the famous Australian race Bathurst 1000 in 1984. As well as the British Touring Car Championship of 1984. In the same way he won in 6 rounds of the European Touring Car Championship. Monza, Vallelunga, Donington, Silverstone, Nogaro and Jarama, repeating the Azana in 1986 with 5 races, Monza, Donington, Anderstorp, Zeltweg and Silverstone. In 1986 he wins the German DTM Championship. The Rover SD1 was also used as a rally car between 1984 and 1985, winning the British Rally Championship. However, it had a weak point that was crucial to its decline. And it is that a vehicle of this category could only be bought by a public with purchasing power, and when the SD1 was introduced to the country with the highest purchasing power, the United States, he was immediately banned for not meeting the necessary quality standards. Well, in reality, due to the difficult situation in which the English automotive industry found itself, in order to cut costs in the Rover SD1, little priority was given to the quality of materials and safety. This veto in America made the SD1 a car completely unknown outside Europe. Thus was the first blow of death to the model that gave so much glory for a decade to the already depressed English manufacturer. So the Rover had no choice but to give way to the successor model, the Rover 800. Despite all the efforts of British Leyland to keep English brands alive, in a short time it had to start selling its brands to other manufacturers in Europe, Japan, China, Russia, and the United States. So the Rover 3500 SD1 is considered the last British thoroughbred, because it was the last, designed, developed and manufactured 100% by English engineers. Unknown and forgotten by many, SD1 scored countless achievements throughout its history, shaping for history its undeniable legacy of innovation, elegance, and high performance, which made it a complete car for its time. Today many connoisseurs, collectors, and car lovers continue to preserve these authentic beauties of engineering, thus giving the opportunity to others to also know it. Tell me if you knew the Rover 3500 SD1 and what is your experience or memory with the model. This rarity is one more that we add to the list of the new classics.